one of the stories in my book that's actually showed me that it's not that simple, that how it works in our heads. One of the hardest stories that I faced during writing my book, it was not, surprisingly, not my almost unaliving experience being domestic violence victim. It's not about essay. It's not about my eating disorders. It's about hunger. And not that hunger that you feel skipping your lunch. No, it's the hunger when you smell food mile away. You know precisely what people eat on the other side of the window because you're looking at them eating. Till this day I'm become very emotional talking about this because partly why, because I'm partly still feel a lot of compassion to that girl that's sneaking up windows to other people's food. I was working. The funny thing, the horrible thing in my story, that at that point I was not a student. That maybe you can visualize yourself like very stereotypical story that you starting your life, you have no support from your parents. It's not that it's a simple story and you can deal with it. Not absolutely. The tragedy in my case, it was that I had a mortgage. My marriage fell apart. I had a lot of payments to all these mortgage obligations was mine obligations, and I have zero amount of disposal of any income to buy anything except absolute necessity, meaning food was a luxury at this point for me, because I need to have a roof over my head, and I need to go to work. I was working as a lawyer at the time. It was back in Russia, and I was working in a very fancy part of Moscow. It's a downtown of Moscow, like business downtown, I would say. It's in a Moscow city, and maybe you probably saw these pictures. If it's not a red square, it's probably this one. It's skyscrapers, glass, and windows, and stone, and magnificent infrastructure. It's really comfortable. Actually, good, beautiful restaurants, shopping centers. You have everything that you need here, like literally everything. You can live and work there with no problem. I didn't live there, of course. It was unimaginably expensive for me, but I worked there. I had a decent salary that could cover my mortgage, and I spent almost 3 hours one way because I lived in the Moscow region and working in the Moscow city in Moscow. So it's a 3 hour one way, so it's 6 hours per day. It's for commute, and so 90% of my salary it was mortgage payment, and some like leftovers. It was obviously just to pay for public transportation because I use public transportation to get to Moscow metro, and teeny tiny amount of money I can spend for food. So what means to get a food in that circumstances for me? It's mainly cottage cheese and buckwheat. That's about it. Or rice. You can buy a bag of rice. I know that you can spread it through 1 month easily when you have a decent, like very teeny tiny amount every day. You can really live on one pack through 1 month. Highly not recommended, absolutely, but it was my reality. And at that point, how I could explain myself, like that's why it's about mind games. How I explained myself that it's not horrific situation. Just in order to be able to still functioning, working, because if I'm not working, I do not have roof over my head. I have no relatives, nobody there in Moscow to support me. Need to show up, I need to be energized, I need to be very good at my job just to save my place, and I need to functioning. So I could have a very little amount of food just to functioning. But also I need to be, it's weird, but I need to be attractive. I need to be beautiful just to maintain my place. Because if you're beautiful, you have more chances. So, because all my chiefs, my bosses were men, it's very normal in Russia. So, if you're attractive woman, like conventionally attractive woman, long hair, thin, really good proportions of your body, you have more chances to stay at work, let's say. So, I sell myself this hunger situation that I said, okay, I will make myself more thinner. It will be my diet, my dieting routine, so I can maintain my slim body. I struggled with obesity through all my life, almost since starting from my childhood. And I thought that at this point it helped me to support this appearance and maybe make it better in the quotation marks, because it makes me looks more snatched, more thin, more slim, more attractive at the end of the day. So these hunger games that I was into really played nicely for me in the long run. It means that I could pay out my mortgage with help of my parents. I could not to lose my mind and convince myself that it was a very, very good period of my life and it was beneficial for me. And watching people at the restaurant, for example, I learned how to maintain yourself when you're in a high-end restaurant. Because I observe people, how they move, how they eat, what forks and what spoons you can and you need to use while you're eating specific food. So I was kind of prepared for this. I found this nice sides to very horrible situation that I found myself in. That is why I'm convinced that you have so much strength and power inside you that you cannot find yes, but you have it. And this situation showed me that I can survive so many things. I have so much in my heart and my soul, things to share with the world. That is why I'm there to be with you here. I'm there to write my books. I'm there to send this message. And I'm there to film this because it's, let's say, nerve-wracking situation for me. That is why I'm always want to be here for you and support you even in these horrendous situations. And I hope my book can help you to navigate these messy mind games and find your way to be here for us, to support us. I hope the next time I will see your video. Bye!